Hey guys, so the supplies that we'll need for today's video is a crochet hook. Today I am using a 5.5 millimeter or a size I and a hair twistie. For my velvet hair scrunchies, I typically use a thicker banded one just to keep it more secure, and then a darning needle and a pair of scissors. Today I am using Bernat Velvet yarn, and this is in a dark green shade. So let's get this video started. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is just take your yarn and tie a knot around it. I do a double knot, so I'm going to tie it again. That's the easiest way I have found to do that. And so now we are just going to single crochet around our hair twistie, okay? So if you had saw a couple days ago, I released a video of making a crochet hair scrunchie. However, that was using the acrylic yarn. So with my velvet yarn that I do here, that I'm showing you, I do it a little bit differently. So as we're moving along on this video, I will explain how I do it differently for the velvet ones. The velvet ones I really want to make nice and full and fluffy, ruffly. So I do a couple different extra things with these guys. And there's so many different videos out there for crochet. I mean, with any project, so many different granny squares, for instance. Even with these hair scrunchies, you can look up on YouTube and there's so many different ways people do them, but this is how I do mine. And I actually got this video from Passionate Kelsey. Maybe you guys have heard of her. If not, you should go check her out, Passionate Kelsey. She is awesome with her videos, down to earth woman. And we love her in our house. So this is actually her pattern. And like I said, this is the one that I found for the velvet scrunchies that I like doing the best. So as you're coming along towards the end of your hair scrunchie, or your hair tie here, I just push it over like that. You just want to make sure this first part here is nice and full, so that way when you stretch out your hair scrunchie to put around your hair, the idea is to not really see too much of that black original hair tie underneath it, okay? So I just keep moving it over like that. It's not really about how many single crochets you have on it, but just how nice and snug that you have this, okay? I got my cat right here out of the camera view, so hopefully she doesn't make an appearance in the video. Pets, you gotta love them, right? They want to love on us at the wrong times sometimes. Okay, so I am liking how full mine is. Again, you can stretch yours out and see if that's how you like yours. If not, keep going a little further. So then what you're going to do is find that top first single crochet that we did and make a slip stitch. Okay? So then I just make sure that all my stitches are showing at the outside of your hair tie now. You don't want any of them inside of the band because that'll cause problems. So if you gotta turn it a little bit for the next step, go ahead and do that, okay? So now this one, I just make one row around. And again, this is how Passionate Kelsey does hers. So what you're going to do is chain 3 now. 2 and 3. and then you're going to treble into where we slip stitched, okay? And it does take a little practice to get a grip on where your stitches actually are when you're using this velvet yarn, so just be patient with yourself. So treble is yarn over, pull through the first two, yarn over, go through the next two, yarn over, and go through those last two. So that was one. You're going to do that 2 more times in that stitch. So yarn over, insert into that chain, yarn over and pull through the first two, yarn over and pull through the next two, yarn over and pull through the last two. That was 2, yarn over, go into that same stitch and pull through, yarn over and pull through the first two, yarn over and pull through the next two, yarn over and go through the next two. So that was 3 into that same space. And you're just going to keep doing that, 3 trebles into each stitch all the way around. So that was 1, 2, and 3 into that same space. So we're going to keep going around our project like this into the next space. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to pull out my hook here. You can already see it kind of starting to wave on itself, fold onto itself. That is the effect that you're going to want to start getting to get that ruffle going around, okay? So as you continue on, it's going to do that more and more and get fuller, okay? So why don't you keep making those trebles into there and meet me back when we're close to the end of that row, okay? Okay, so I'm coming up on my last few spots to put my trebles in. If this is your first time working with the velvet yarn like this, I'm sure you noticed what I was talking about, how it's a lot harder to feel where your stitches do go because of the way the yarn is made. How it's just basically like a real tiny string that runs along through the inside of it, and then it's just packed with all this good fluffy stuff around it. So sometimes it's hard to feel where those stitches are, but you get a hang of it after a while. Okay, and this is my last one here. So then all we do is go back to this first top chain on that first treble, and you just slip your hook in and chain stitch it up. And that is it. So then we snip a little off, pull that through to make a little knot, and then you're just going to weave your yarn onto your needle. And what I like to do is I like to work my way down towards here on the bottom, and that's where I hide all my yarn now. And I just keep going around till I'm about out of the yarn that I have on my needle. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay nice and tight. So that's pretty good. That was probably about a dozen or so of the single crochets that we went through. And then I just snip off the end there. As you can see, it's starting to get a little dusty of velvet over here. So we are just going to do that in the space that we started with also here. So put that one onto your needle, and again, just weave it on through. For 12, 15 of those single crochets. But like I said, this isn't going to come undone at all. It's pretty hard for velvet to come undone, to be honest, out of the stitches, so it's nice and secure. And then just snip off that end, get rid of that yarn, and now we're just going to kind of take all those loose velvet pieces that came off while we were hiding our tail ends there. And there you go. So let's get rid of that. Creates a little cloud at the end there. But there you go. Now you got your cute little hair scrunchie. You can wear it literally just as a little accessory on your wrist if you wanted to, instead of using it as a hair twistie. But I like them. They're nice and soft. They're so soft. You can use them for colors for sports teams that you like. If you have little girls that are in team sports, you could use them and put them into the colors of their sports. You can use them for different holidays, make up different holiday themed ones. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, shouting out Kelsey with Passionate Kelsey. And if you don't know her, go check out her page. Thank you and hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.